Hi, welcome. It's Meredith. I'm here with our message for Thursday, the 18th of March, 2021. We're using our good old-fashioned Morgan Greer tarot deck for today's message. Our cards from the bottom of the deck, all about our energy atmosphere of the day. Our first card is, well, looky here. See who's back again, but our lovely Knight of Pentacles. I like that he's here. You know, he's slow and steady, wins the race. He doesn't rush, doesn't force or push anything. And that's excellent because we are finding ourselves in an atmosphere where we are deeply contemplative of our next steps and our next moves. You know, we've seen the Lover's card and the Two of Cups quite a bit, and we are in the midst of deepening a bond and a priority relationship in our life, or maybe more than one. We're doing that within self-relationship too, and it's a beautiful gifting we give ourselves to not allow time to have any factor in whatever process we find ourselves in. So I've heard recently in conversations with people I've done readings for, with my friends, with my family, I've heard a whole lot of should. I should be past this. I should have gotten beyond this experience. I should have achieved this or that at this age and stage of development in my life. And so there's a whole lot of shoulding, and there's a whole lot of timing going on there. And I feel the message coming out of the cards for us is make space for a whole lot of allowing. Take time out of it and be in the flow. Our Knight of Pentacles is absolutely in the flow. And what comes next? But the King of Pentacles, how wonderful, right? Because we know this king, kings and queens, are about mastery. We have progression within a suit. From knight to king, that's perfect. This shows the upgrade that we are in process with at this time. And the King of Pentacles is all about celebrating the now while having an open heart, an open mind for what is becoming, what's blossoming, and how to reinvest that energy. You know, we're having a bit of an upgrade in terms of our own efficiency with how we navigate our world, how we navigate our life. And I have an overwhelming feeling here that the voice of the ego is losing its grip. Wherever we have that, wherever we have doubt or fear or As one person might say in my world, wherever we're grinding on something over and over, just chewing on it, can't let it go. That's the voice of the ego. And as I've mentioned, we've seen the Devil and we've seen the Death card recently. And that's just it. Anything that we're grinding on, that we're giving our power to, that we're investing our energy in, that is not producing reward for us. Because what are we getting out of that? Right? So taking a page from my own recent experiences, having a difficult conversation with a family member, that was really hard. And before I did that, before that conversation happened, I was chewing on it and my ego voice was up. My temper was even up. I was busy justifying the anger that I felt, the discomfort that I felt. And at some point, you know, the nickel drops and the realization comes that this is not a wise investment. The wise investment is solutions, solution orientation, and coming around to that. So, you know, if we get caught up in something that revisits our mind and our thoughts over and over and over again, validation, first step, validation. All right, I feel this way, I own it, and I'm going to stop shaming, blaming, and guilting myself for it. What needs to happen here? I got to come out of fear, which is producing anger. I have to wake up and not be unconscious here in this situation. I have to get conscious and choose love, right? And you can see this progression in these two cards, believe it or not, right? Because, you know, we may be moving slowly through something that is familiar and yet uncomfortable, but we're graduating. We're bringing our mastery to this and recognizing this doesn't pay a great reward to me. My choice is to be the love and light and happiness and inspiration that I know myself to be. This is my authentic self. Let me bring that. These other things that are happening are things that are just happening. And there's a choice in how they happen. We get to choose how we navigate those experiences. And that's the very upgrade that's taking place at this time. And coming with is now the Empress. Yeah. So we're giving birth to, we are stepping into the bounty of the love that we are. We're becoming more. So here's a really good point. This is not a time to beat ourselves up about the fact that every now and then we go into these places where fear, doubt, anger rise up in us. It happens. It's a wave, and it's not linear, and it doesn't show up on a calendar and on a schedule. It just simply happens. The beauty in it is recognizing that it does. And when we recognize this, this is not the moment where we can go deeper into self-punishment with negative self-talk for, oh, hey, look how long you were just wasting your time investing energy in anger. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to have loving kindness and compassion and say, okay, great, this is contrast. I got to recognize, thank you, universe, that I was making an investment that's not going to pay any reward. So what am I going to do? I'm going to move into my Empress attitude. I'm going to think about abundance and reward and what I really want to bring into this world. And better yet, when I look back on this experience, in hindsight, how do I want to view that? Yeah, with more kindness and more compassion, say, wow, look at you. Look at how you upgraded your attitude of appreciation, right? You moved out of something that was maybe slow, low, and comfortable, but not necessarily rewarding. Stepped into your self-mastery, King of Pentacles, recognized that there's a far better way to invest the energy, and why not invest it in the Empress energy, right? So she's about cycles and rhythms, and, you know, we're coming into a change of season. This is a great time to really think about the next season of our life and how we want to enjoy that within our self-relationship and how we want to enjoy that in our priority relationships. How do we want to celebrate? How do we want to invest? Let's bring bounty, love, happiness, nurturing, care, compassion, playfulness, and joy, right? Let's do that. Okay. And here we are again with Justice. I believe Justice was in yesterday's reading with the Four of Coins. What a fantastic pair. Because in yesterday's reading, Justice was with the Lovers, if I recall correctly. And one of the little known meanings of the Justice card is nurturing one's emotional feeling realm. And here we have Justice showing up again in I think in the very same position actually in the reading. But now with the Four of Coins, which is in an energy of, this card's called the Miser. It's a 4, it's super stable, so that's wonderful. It's very grounded. But this is about an energy of letting go of something that we're holding on to that we would be better off without, right? So what would we be better off without? This old way of, you know, chewing on the ego voice from life experiences, from difficult conversations, difficult emotional realms or feeling realms, and upgrading all of that into this Empress, you know, abundance, bounty, love, joy, happiness energy. So we're in the process of letting go of an old pattern, an old tape loop, an old behavior, whatever it is. And with Justice sitting next to that in the Four of Coins, we are being nurturing about it. No shaming, blaming, and guilting, as I was talking about up here. We're doing it with loving kindness and compassion. Beautiful. And then we have, I love this, the Queen of Swords. Okay. She's a brilliant strategist, so is the king. And one of her core messages is that she does not suffer any foolishness or nonsense, most especially her own. She drops an Ace of Swords on that. Everlasting strength, brilliant clarity. So my feeling here is that we have brilliant clarity in whatever the situation is or process is that we've been allowing the ego to run rampant with. And now we're reining that in. And we're not just reining it in, we're ready to let it go, put an end to that, put the Ace of Swords on it, and bring in the Empress. Bring in the mastery of being mindful for how we invest our soul's energy in every aspect of our life. And coming with the Queen of Swords is the Strength card. Oh yeah. Talk about getting to the heart of a matter. This is a card that's all about heart. And it's really about the courageousness to live from our heart space. That's something that terrifies the ego. That's, it's the ego voice that would talk us completely out of courageously, vulnerably inhabiting our heart space and living from that place. That at times feels really risky, but we're letting go of whatever it is that's been holding us in place to not be our full authentic selves. Let go of stuff that drives us. Who's driving what? Let's allow our soul force energy to drive this whole journey, right? Have the strength to do that. Sometimes that takes amazing vulnerability. The ego doesn't like it. The ego doesn't like vulnerability at all. It wants to protect us from that. So we rise up like the Queen of Swords because we've got unconditional loving compassion for ourselves, which gives us the ability to, in a very stable way, let go of what it is that we're holding on to that keeps us anchored to a behavior, a habit, a way of being that doesn't serve our true happiness. Ooh. And then, what do? We move on from there. How fantastic. So the Six of Swords is all about moving on from less than favorable conditions to much more favorable conditions. So there it is. We stay in motion. We stay in momentum. We've seen the Wheel of Fortune more than once this week. And that's the divine delivery system. And that's the momentum that we are in. And that's what is carrying us toward, the mastery of the king, the mastery of the Empress, and even the mastery of justice. Coming with our Six of Swords is the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. I love this. This is harmony between our thinking and our feeling. So this speaks to, these two cards in particular, speak to our success in harmonizing this energy that we've been talking about through the entirety of this reading. We actually do embrace our vulnerability with our courage. We embody the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Coins. And we bring all that type of energy to bear on new inspired ideas out of the Page of Swords and the manifestation of what's in heart space strength off the Page of Cups. Because the Page of Cups is all about what is blossoming, what is becoming a reality in our life. So pages speak to untried, untested energies. And what I really feel here is that we're coming into a kind of consistency that feels new to us in the way that we nurture ourselves, are compassionate and unconditionally loving with ourselves. And as you know, that's going to translate to every part of your day-to-day life. So fantastic. Whoa. Well, Thursday. Geez, that's a busy day for us. Maybe clear the calendar, right? And do this kind of work. All right, let's do angel answers. This is our opportunity to ask a question if we've got one, get confirmation on something related or not here, or it's just a brand new fresh message for some of you in the reading. Our first card is, I like that, recovery. Fantastic card. And I think it speaks well to what's going on with justice and the Four of Coins. We're letting go of something. And when we let go, that means now there is a space that this energy, whatever this is for you, once occupied. What do we fill that in with? The Empress, the King of Coins, the Queen of Swords, and strength. Beautiful. Then we have yes, and coming with yes is trust. Trust yourself. Yes, trust yourself in this recovery of the energy that has been taking up this space, not providing reward, but that's been, you know, part of the ego voice pulling at our strength. We're reclaiming that here. One more. Perfect timing. Divine timing. So that card is confirming for us that this is exactly just the right kind of atmosphere to do this kind of journey work. So go for it. Let's take a look at our affirmation for the day. Oh, fantastic. From the Spirit Chunky deck, we have, I bring peace with me wherever I go. Yeah, right? That's what's happening. We're bringing peace to something that was not exactly peaceful. How fantastic is that? Congratulations. Thank you, as always, everyone, for tuning in, watching, hitting the thumbs up on the videos. That's deeply appreciated because it helps circulate the videos here on YouTube. Have a beautiful Thursday. I'll be back very soon with the weekend reading. And happy spring. Peace, love, joy, happiness. Namaste.